The MindsEye situation is a complete disaster. The game is buggy. People talking about it are unhappy. Most people are extremely negative, in fact. And, well, it's just getting slowly worse over time for them. And this is supposed to be a pretty big deal. This is almost supposed to be like a triple A quality thing. And, well, we're not getting it, it looks like.
There's been a growing appetite for a while now for a new Grand Theft Auto-esque third-person shooter, something that just has not happened in the AAA sphere for years. The most recent I can think of was maybe Watch Dogs Legion,
Also, you look at this, and this is supposed to be from the game. This seems like 2010 average-ish graphics.
which really killed that franchise. There was obviously Saints Row the remake, which we don't need to get into that. That was a blasphemous entry. EA was developing something years ago that went nowhere. Sleeping Dogs many years before that. Driver 3D, early 2000s.
Oh, Sleeping Dogs, I completely forgot about that trash pile.
There was a number of experiences like it, but there just has not been much produced. And that's why a lot of attention was on Leslie Benzie's new entry. If you don't know who Benzies is, he was a Rockstar North president. He did prominent work on Grand Theft Auto 5, I think even some of the earlier Grand Theft Auto installments, and Grand Theft Auto Online. He was a mega face at Rockstar Games, so a lot of people were very curious to see what he was going to do after his
Damn.
time at Rockstar Games, because he formed a studio called Build a Rocket Boy. And the first project that started to get announced was that he formed a team with a bunch of former Rockstar North developers, and it was called Everywhere. Everywhere is a weird one because the fact that it's supposed to be like the center hub
That is a strange name.
of games within games, it almost seems like way too much for this smaller development team. And also the question about funding and how this was going to be realistic, though those are questions that have been lingering for many years now, and they're still kind of unanswered right as of today, in which they're about to have a giant release for Mind's Eye.
Oh boy, look at this. This is what we call quality. Just giant OLED sign. Here's a LED
Unanswered
sign.
right as of today.
Here's a LED sign, and when you walk in, where you're supposed to flash your card ID, there's also LED stuff there. What is this?
In which they're about to have a giant release for Mind's Eye in the coming days. But this was
I mean, I don't think I see any LED here.
originally the envision for Everywhere. The core ethos of the title, according to the developer, is to create this open world.
Oh, there's a lot of LED there. Okay, we know someone who's a big fan of LED LEDs.
Can be built on in every direction. To this end, the title will host numerous full games, including Mind's Eye, which we're talking about today, an upcoming AAA action-adventure title set in a world of futuristic corporations, conspiracy theories, and sinister new technologies. In short, it appears that Everywhere is
Okay, so just the story of this sounds already preachy. It already sounds unreasonably political for absolutely no reason. Oh, evil corporations are taking over the world. Okay? That already sounds bad. Okay? Story-wise, this even almost looks worse than The Witcher 4, which is going to be a video for tomorrow, because everything I can gauge from The Witcher 4 story is horrible. That thing is going to be so dull and boring.
aiming to become the next big thing in game creation, while the likes of Roblox and Dreams allow anyone to create their own experiences. AAA games have yet to make their debut on the platform. As such, Everywhere playing host to AAA titles in its own right is likely to help to make it a big splash upon its debut. Like I said, mighty ambitions for this project. But the thing about Everywhere is that the footage, and like I said, it just looked like a Fortnite ripoff. This was the initial reveal that we got in 2023.
Oh, damn, boy.
Fortnite ripoff. This was the initial reveal that we got in
Hey, what is this a man? Is this a woman? Do we need another gender reveal party? Holy.
2023 pre-alpha. This was them showing off, I guess, one of the creations that was going to be within it, and it looked extremely unappealing. And since then, there has been betas. They've done some other stuff with this, but just nothing about this project looks very interesting.
Yeah.
Here's more. This was back in 2020.
People got to play it. I didn't cover it when people were given like early access keys, or they were flown out to the place. It was full of bugs. Everything was buggy.
For again, it's just similar stuff It's providing tools to make games within this, but it's the question of why do people want to use this service? And when you have other, experiences like Roblox, probably Grand Theft Auto is going to be going down that lane as well with GTA 6.
Yeah.
It's just the question of why would people want to build in everywhere? And as it said here in this article from 2024, the free-to-play toolset powered the project is called Arcadia, which includes building tools, a self-publishing vacuum or publishing system, and library of assets. Virtual items, be they small props, enemies, puzzles, or even entire levels, are known as stamps. You do not have to be a professional programmer to create something amazing everywhere. With the introduction of the stamp systems to the building experience, we have eliminated the blank canvas problem and allow you to select, reuse, and even remix the best content from the community. So that is the overall vision for everywhere. And that's why a project like MindsEye is so key, because it brings the eyes, the attention to everywhere. This is supposed to be where they're going to be making their money for the years to come. The problem is that MindsEye just looks absolutely...
Yeah, the problem is no one's going to buy it.
Dreadful. I've been saying this for a while now. They've debuted gameplay, they've leaked gameplay, and everything about it just looks extremely worrying. Massive red flags everywhere. And they debuted
building your own game be possible on consoles as well. Ugh.
New gameplay the other day, in which here you can, again, it's just so much going on here. Introducing MindsEye. And this is literally, the game's supposed to release in like 2 to 3 weeks, and we're just getting these details and actual in-depth gameplay videos. It's mind-boggling. Introducing MindsEye, 3 seamlessly interconnected experiences, an explosive action-adventure campaign, play.MindsEye, a continuous stream of premium studio-developed content, and build.MindsEye to craft your own games.
Oh, that is a lot of buzzwords. Play.MindsEye, a continuous stream of premium. Yeah, this sounds more preachy than game.
So as you can see, MindsEye, the action-adventure campaign, is supposed to pull you in to this other content. But again, as with everything, MindsEye, the actual game, the action-adventure, the single-player story, which is only 15 hours, it has to be good. People actually have to care about this stuff. And even right now at launch, it doesn't seem like they're ready for much.
I mean, this game already hits the first red flag of modern-day gaming. Androgynous, let's just call them marathon tier characters.
Will building your own game be possible on consoles as well? Unfortunately, not on release, but our teams are working hard to get it available on consoles as soon as possible.
To be fair, who cares about consoles? So this is not exactly a big loss or win.
So this has been the thing with this game for a while now.
Listen, if there's modding, it's happening on PC. Forget about the consoles. No one's going to do modding on consoles.
It's just a lot of people don't know what's actually being offered here, because this isn't an open world, massive experience for players to play in. This is a linear 15-hour story, and there's doesn't seem to be much more than that. They did reveal some new gameplay. This was, like I said, today. They showed off some more of the story. Like I said, you get a cool looking open world here. It looks like it would be fun to explore and drive in, but this isn't.
This is fake. This is not real in-game footage.
Like anything you can explore. It's just a linear mission-to-mission campaign, which is in of itself kind of dated in this day and age. But if the quality is there, I think most people aren't going to care. It's just the problem.
That is, dude, GTA 5 didn't have this crowded of cities, okay? And you're gonna tell me this GTA 5 ripoff is gonna have non-stop traffic? I'll tell you a secret, by the way. A lot of games can have this much traffic. It's actually not even that much of an issue. It's not the fact that there's like a million things happening in this trailer. It's the simple fact that you don't want this much traffic in your game. You know why? Watch.
Problem is, there's many questions if this is going to be a quality experience.
Yeah, you see, you can't drive in this. If the simulation is like real and it has a lot of cars, you can't drive in this because everything's you constantly need to drive on the pedestrian sidewalk. That's what you need to do. You can't drive in a realistically simulated city unless you want to use your beeps and boops and follow the rules.
Especially with all the gameplay and all the
yeah, you see? If this happens in a real game, you get pissed because you stopped. You just broke your car. This is not good. This is never gonna be real.
Footage that we are seeing that's now coming out, including some of the leaks that have also been brought about. But yeah, like I said, it dabbles into the AI stuff. I'm not going to concentrate too much on the story. I'm more so looking at the gameplay. The gameplay looks...
Do you think this is going to be in a story about AI finding intelligence and sentience and people questioning, did we create new life? And then it's like, but this is slavery. I think this is gonna the AI is gonna be an allegory for slavery, is it not? Like, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm the only one who's thinking that. I'm obviously not.
Skills, making
it looks dated,
valuable to some, but highly dangerous to others.
But I understand. I think there's a lot of people, especially in the Grand Theft Auto community, especially with the long way from GTA 5 to GTA 6, that just want a, you know, maybe a decent third-person experience like this. But I just... there's just something about this that's so off.
I'm the one who wins him. Boss has a better idea. Remember that girl, the hacker?
Right?
That's so off.
Okay, so you got your genetic bad character that looks like a clown, because how are you supposed to otherwise... We're falling into a lot of tropes here. We don't know much about this game, but everything that we know about this seems like it's just a giant trope after a giant trope after a giant boring trope. None of this is special, and I don't mean special in this, it's new, it's a new idea. None of this is special in the way that it's just bland. Like what the fuck is this? Like, yeah, okay.
Boss has a better idea. Remember that girl, the hacker?
Yeah, and based on the information we've gotten, this Jacob Diaz, our protagonist, the actor that played Lincoln Clay in Mafia 3, it seems to be like a story of amnesia. There's some war stuff going on. He's reliving memories. It's one of those types of games. It's been done to death in the gaming industry, but there's still potential that this could be an interesting experience.
Robin Hood. Turns out she's been holed up downtown in some kind of safe house. Can you drive?
Can you shoot?
Yeah, and like I said, the graphics, everything here, it looks fine. It's just the gameplay doesn't quite...
Increasingly perilous situations. You must form unlikely alliances in order to survive.
Yeah, and the way that they're describing this gameplay just sounds like there's so much more complexity to all of this. But again, it's a linear story going mission to mission, and you know, the open world, all these surroundings, it's kind of just set dressing.
I am not sold in the slightest.
Your talents at the wheel will be called upon as you find yourself both the hunter and hunted.
The hunter and the hunted! Yeah, what the fuck? This is so cringe! Again, this seems like the most generic game ever to genetic the geneticness of gaming genericity, okay? That's a sentence, by the way.
Boom, and there's an explosion. Like I said, the gameplay, it looks fine. It looks serviceable, at least in this. But the problem is, they've just been extremely restrictive with who's actually showing or even playing this. It almost seems like they are trying to hide this game from the press, from game previewers, and even those who have
Yeah, the people who have gotten this, by the way, are your typical Mr. Manny plays Luke Steffens kind of characters who are gonna completely ignore all the bad things while mentioning, well, it's not really the best thing ever currently, but buy it. I don't like it, but buy it. The story was bad, but I liked it because it was bad. You know, that kind of people.
Previewed it. We're going to talk about that in a second. Most of them have not actually had hands-on with this experience, and the developers behind this have been very controlling of what footage is, you know, being recorded, and it's just everything screams red flag. We've seen this many times in the past, and usually there's a reason for this. But the main reason why this is the big focus. It's builds MindsEye. This is the long-term hope of this. It's to get people to build tools in this and build their own games. And like I said, there's just, you see some shooting missions, but that's all you see in this footage. It's just clear outpost and that's about it. And then maybe there's a tailing mission. You don't see any actual complexity to these mission encounters or anything, which actually has been a core complaint of the Grand Theft Auto franchise for a while now. It just looks kind of dull.
Bro, I don't know who complains about that being dull in GTA. Honestly, I don't care. As long as it's good. The GTA 5 story is one of my honestly favorite stories in game. It's simple, it's likable, it's nice, and that's it. You don't need a lot more than that.
And then, yeah, here's the builds.MindsEye, which I was talking about, which is one of the cooler things about this.
Anyone can build their own MindsEye quality missions and games, thanks to our groundbreaking, easy-to-use creation system. MindsEye players get an all-access pass to the hidden world of game creation. At the touch of a button, you can create your own shootouts, chases, races,
and that's cool.
Puzzles, and places.
But again, the big problem with this is there's so many games going down this lane now. It's just, you have to have a standout title to represent this content. And I have serious questions that this is that. Like I said, these are some of the interviews and some of the stuff that has come about it. Everybody was very confused. A lot of people thought that this was an open world action adventure. It's not. They have fully said this. They said this in March, just a couple months ago. GTA 5 Veterans' new open world game is actually a fake open world, but its central city sounds a lot like Cyberpunk 2077, which is just sugarcoating to say that.
Yeah, I mean, what is exactly this game even trying to go for, technically? Is it does it want to be like a Cyberpunk? Is it Cyberpunk or is it GTA? What exactly are we going for here, okay? Futuristic robots, but, you know, none of the other things that you would expect with robots? That's stupid. Corpo run world, but you don't see any of the corpo-ness of it. You don't see the distilled the distilled perfection of the corporate world. That's lame. So yeah, it's like it's GTA 5, but it wants you to believe that it's Cyberpunk at the same time. Doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it?
It looks like that, but it's not that. Speaking to Edge, assistant game director Adam Whitting confirms it's a linear action game that's kind of like a fake open world or faux open world, you could even say. And then they talk about how you could see people, NPCs being baristas and stuff like that, but it just doesn't matter when you can't even interact with any of this. And then this is where things get a little bit more worrying. It's when we actually get the previews that have come in. There's very limited amounts of them, but the previews that have come about from a couple of YouTubers, this is a quick rundown. Mr. Matty Plays had access. Reportedly a broken mess filled with bugs, 15-hour-long story, which is fine.
Yeah, I say people like Matty Plays got the access, but I didn't watch his video. But I know that he even just called it straight up bad. That's impressive to make a game that bad.
Driving feels stiff. Cutscenes look great and are well animated, that's an upside. Enemy encounters lack depth and enemies just run at the player, which AI in these games really does matter. Combat generally feels fine, very GTA-like. Arcadia is the content creation mode that you can get into by stepping into a portal, only available for PC at launch. Arcadia can be used to build encounters around the map. We saw that. Developers seem to hint that the main city doesn't have much content and will be a focus post-launch, which just sounds like a game that's not ready. And previews think that the game should...
Yeah, this literally sounds like, hey, we made a game, but we actually didn't finish the game. But there's going to be more of it. Don't worry about it. Oh, really? I must be so lucky that you gave me this wonderful, sweet offer of buying unfinished slop so you can maybe finish it in 5 years. Oh, man, lucky me.
Should be delayed. And these were some of the previews. This was from Spawnwave. I thought this was interesting what he was saying about it. He had, I guess, limited access, but...
You took the mission, you then got in a car, and then drove to your destination, and then things continued on. So this again was all done by way of we just watched someone play it.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks before launch. They're not even letting people play this. You're just watching a preview. That's ridiculous.
Preview events I'll go to, and you just play the game even through streaming, which is a really, really good use case for streaming games because it's still under their control to where you don't have to download the game and potentially data mine it or something. They still have control of all the files. but you have the freedom of just playing the game and honestly at times trying to break it. So when I see MindsEye and it being played in front of us, and my initial thought when I get into that mission would probably be to drive into the city or do something I'm not supposed to. So that's
Which is
probably
the
why
point of
they
previews
did
like
it in
this.
way to keep people like me
He just blatantly clips through the.
do something I'm not supposed to. So that's
Which
probably
is the
why
point of
Look. That's really bad.
previews
That is really bad.
they did
like
it in
this.
way to keep
That is unbelievably bad. That is, you know why this is really bad? It's because you can just make the character move a little bit slightly and then slap the car shut. That's it. That's what you need to do to make it look like it. It's not even hard. But they just make the guy clip through. He might as well just appear outside of the car. He might as well just float through the roof at this point. That's how bad the quality here is. And the enter, by the way, is not even in the middle of the car. It's at the back for some reason.
people like me from messing things up. But I would have been interested to just to know what happens, all right? Because that would have been, I think, a core concept of how linear is this game really? Like, they've talked about the world. There's apparently a creation tool builder thing that they're working on there to go along with it.
Why did that explode from one shot?
I think multiplayer was thrown around at one point. There's a lot of vision and dreams for this game is what I'll say.
And I just don't think they're going to be
But
realized.
at the end of it, though, when they're showing it, it felt like a game that I had
The game's not out and people are already saying, well, if it just was different, it would be good. Yes, everything would be good if it was different. Diablo 4 would be a good game if it was different, but it doesn't mean it's gonna be different. It doesn't mean it can be fixed, and it would be easier to just make a new game. Yeah, you can probably make this into a good game by just adding this, and this, and it doesn't even seem a lot, but it's never gonna happen. This game is already a failure.
played, or at least seen played at that point. And this isn't necessarily something that should be interpreted as bad.
The NPC just literally turns to the other side and then just run. Like, what is this AI?
But it kind of like the late Xbox 360, late PS3, early PS4, early Xbox One
The explosion's cool, though.
era game. All right.
So, my question is this an already bought asset? I remember years and years and years ago seeing a video where there was a asset about a gas station with pumps that can blow up if shot. Is this just a reused asset? Is it?
And that's exactly what I would define this gameplay as. It reminds me exactly of that. A very dated experience. The gameplay, it just does not come together for, I think, a premium price of $60, which I understand some of these previewers, some of these individuals are trying.
Bro, you can see the Kurds get stuck and pucken. You know, it's a German channel sponsored by the German government, aka pure propaganda, by the way. But dude, I haven't watched this, but this video is like, why does Phantom feel so amazing? And it's literally like the German government sponsored them to make a video for people to probably get hooked on Fent. That's insane. Because again, this channel is literally German government propaganda.
Trying to have upside with this title and think positively, but it really is hard based on everything that we've seen with this and everything. It just smells extremely bad. And Mr. Matty Plays, he also had a preview that was quite negative as well. We talked about some of his thoughts a second ago, but I thought his introduction and his piece was rather notable.
Sincerely, this game needs to get delayed. I saw so many bugs in this preview, and I've been doing this half my life.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen previews.
Again, Mr. Matty even called it bad. Didn't watch this, but even Mr. Matty called this bad. That's insane.
In a good state, I've seen previews in a bad state. This is up there with some of the worst I've seen, just in the terms of
Okay, well, the game's a buggy miss. Let's see what the employees say about this.
Based on everything we've seen so far. And then there's the fact that the developer in of itself, there is so much more drama to this.
Ah,
The fact
glass
that
door.
there's negative reviews from this employer has been constantly brought up, showing that there's chaos going on behind the scenes, which might point to why they're trying to push this game out right now. A 2.1 on Glassdoor isn't much to think of until you start looking at the
Cons. No benefits, no priority is given to the well-being of employees. Well, yeah, you're an employee. Like, what? That this company is just full garbage, isn't it? When your con is, oh, I'm not being treated. You work fucking dead. What do you want them to do? Like, make a second house for you? What is this? You work there. It's a job. It's not supposed to be fun. You do it because you need money. It's not supposed to be great. Like, no benefits and no priorities given to the well-being of the employment. Yeah. A lot of this shit is just jokes. So this company is hiring a literal lunatics, it seems like. I can already tell that this is going to be a problem. 100% guaranteed. My money is on that. Pros, nice people on the lower levels. Oh, so the trash that you associate yourself with is nice. Oh, what a glaring thing, okay? Now, this company is probably just, it can easily be described as most likely toxic positivity or woke to a certain degree.
actual reviews, and they go after Leslie Benzies and his management team. 23% approve of the CEO, and a lot of, like I said, a lot of them. You got one
What is this?
positive right here. Stay away,
Oh, babe. I want to read more. This is funny.
CEO, and
So, pros, no pressure and people are nice. Cons, like every other job, but nothing in particular. That's not a con. That's just life.
a lot of, like I said, a lot of
But with an attitude like that, you're never gonna get fought, okay? Pros, there is nothing positive here. Cons, the most toxic, unethical senior leaders I've ever encountered. Good! That's the type of senior leadership you want. Because they're not... If they're just flat out saying, oh, you need to do your job, at least they're not trying to tell you the stupid spiel about, we're a family here. And if your family needs help, you help. But when you need help, your family kicks you out. That's it, okay? Listen, I was 20. I'm now 32, I think, maybe. I'm not even sure. When I was 25, I literally just got told, okay, you need to find a new job because there's nothing left for you here. You're literally at the quality of department head in finance. Bam, baby! Quality! I'm one of those YouTubers who actually has a career outside of this shit. I finished fucking high school and a college, okay? Finance, business logistics, baby. Worked in the government, stellar reviews, motherfuckers. 2 years, and already was respected by everyone. It is what it is. I see shit when I see shit. And this is trash. These people are garbage. You don't want to be like these losers, okay? The most toxic. Okay, listen, sweet cheeks. You're in a job. It's not your second family. Stop.
of them. You got one positive right here. Stay away. There's nothing positive here. The most toxic, unethical senior leaders I've ever encountered. Constant turbulences. A stepping stone into the industry. Barb is an opportunity to start in video games. Political drama. There have been multiple changes of studio, and then some people have screenshotted some of the more crazy ones.
Jesus Christ. We're gonna definitely read this. Pros. Free soup in the office. An idiot who got paid off by fucking soup. Good salary, but very little increase over the years. So a good salary is not enough. Okay, very cool. At least this guy's concentrated on the money. Promise of a decent bonus, 30% to keep people staying. If you think this is I have explained how the yearly bonus system works so many times. I'm not going to go into depth again. But the yearly bonus is structured that it essentially keeps you running on a hamster mill, because at every single point in your life, you're like a month or two from getting a yearly bonus in some form, okay? You're 2 months away from being eligible for the yearly bonus, and after that you're like 2 months away from being checked if you actually did a good enough job to get the yearly bonus. Then two more months pass, and then you need to wait for the yearly bonus to get paid out, and all of that crap. And then you're starting the hamster wheel again. So, promise of decent 30% bonus to keep people staying is just a hamster wheel trick, okay? Listen, I abuse these hamster wheel tricks. I know what I'm talking about, okay? I advocated for abusing people. I was one of the bad guys, okay? And I'm proud of it, okay? I'm fucking proud of it. Because these people are trash that don't deserve human rights. Culture of blame, lies, and bullying at the very top. Good. So you know the people at the top at least are smart. Younger and experienced members of staff are used as collateral to take the blame for it. Yes, that's how it should be. This is how you know the people rose through the ladder, not because of nepotism, because they're fucking animals. They're savages. And that's the people who rise to the top. You're either at the top or you're at the bottom. Blame for decisions made beyond their control, but they're asking to carry out. Good. The only people who, by the way, this is also never going to be a problem for you. Listen, you know who's going to get blamed? The fucking stupid ones. The smart ones don't get blamed. I started as a fucking lowly peasant, obviously, myself. In 2 weeks, I got not blamed for nothing, and my opinion was more valued than anyone else's opinion. The smart ones don't get blamed that much, okay? Something needs to happen for the smart one. But the average middle of the pack trash, yeah, you're literally just a stepping stone. Glad you don't understand it. The only people who survive are the ones who say yes and feed the CEO's egos. True, you need to say yes to the CEO. This is how you keep your big positions. That's how you get to the top. Again, I'm great at finance. Do I know more about finance and, you know, all these lambda and shit like that? No. Anyone outside of a college probably knows more maths about all of that, more in theory than anything than me. I know the shit that matters, okay? And this is 50% of the stuff, especially in finance, okay? Being good in finance means you need to be able to convince people that you are right more than anything. Because if you're right, that doesn't mean anything. That means you're bad at your job. You need to have the ability to convince people that you are right and what you say is smart. And if it's smart on top, good. That makes it even better. Everyone else with a voice or an opinion that differs are pushed out. Clear favoritism and special treatment. Special treatment exists because the people who are good get treated better than people who aren't good. Again, all the people who write in shit like this are just trash. I have never met a person who is good at their job and would ever say any of this garbage. I'm sorry, this is the great filter of the corporate world. It just is. For those who say yes, the most ridiculous things, the entire executive team suddenly vanishes over about the span of a year with very little explanation, replaced with people with no experience. That's just the CEO being really bad in that case, because they probably sucked up to him like there was no tomorrow. People know that if you are called by HR, they vanish in the middle of the day, and are never spoken about again. That's so funny. There's even a review lower. There's even a review lower down that refers to employees as passengers who should be excited. What? I don't understand this. While the products are late and mediocre, and blaming it on things like it's because people work 9 to 5 will not change that. Overall, can only liken it to feeling like that name that was playing music on the Titanic as it sank. Great review. Great review. Amazing. We got someone who will never be happy with his job because they're trash and they don't even know it. A classic. A story I have seen too many times.
ones. 1 star is too generous. Stay clear. Free soup in the office. Culture of blame, lies,
we're
and
gonna
bullying at the
skip.
decisions made whose spurs are populous. It's a field of children of the elite who know that most of meritocracy is a doomed farce. It's a sad byproduct of capitalism that most of us will end up working beneath the petulant child of children of the elite.
This guy's literally a communist. You see what I mean? This company just hired a bunch of woke idiots. This is hilarious.
Elite who inevitably fail upwards through life. The company is the worst example of this I've ever experienced or witnessed. The upper management openly admit their goal is a culture of fear and consistently pass all blame off to the lower orders. I'm still amazed at some of the company policies.
Also, a lot of people say this. You know what's the reality? I'll give you the super dark truth of business. The average employee is fucking trash. Yes. If you think you're average and you're doing a decent job, congratulations, you're not. If you're not one of those people who can constantly make stories, not make in this case, I would say, tell stories of their lived experience, but you had a job that you needed to do in like a week and you did it in 5 minutes. If you're not one of those people, congratulations, you are a bad employee. Okay? Listen, and I'm not even mean, okay? Listen, I know a lot of people who are amazing at their jobs. I know a lot of people who have made it up the ladder. You want to hear a fucking thing that's going to literally offend 99.999% of people in tech, in coding, in all of those slave jobs? Because tech and coding is, by the way, literally the most slave job ever. People in finance like me are going to laugh at you in fucking literally companies that are designed around, coding and things like that, because we're still, at the end of the day, the ones that decide is your job good or not. And we don't even know how to use the computer keyboard. That's just life. It's unfair, and I love it, and everyone else who is good also loves it. Listen, I'll offend. I'll do it. I'll offend all of the computer visits here. If you are a programmer and your work experience is more than 2 years total. You literally started working at a tech job. You started working at a tech job from zero. If you have more than 2 years experience in a tech job and you're not making minimum 30% of the highest tier salary in your country, you're fucking shit at your job. You're not good at tech. You're not good at computers. You're literal fucking trash. That's it. That's the truth. Any single person that I know who actually works in programming says the same thing. There is never an excuse to not be minimum top 30% of earners in your country if you're working in tech for 2 years or, God forbid, 3 or 4. If you're not, you're just fucking shit at your job. Stop lying to yourself. Go fucking put the fries in the bag. Because you're never gonna move up. Talent gets recognized, especially in the tech industry. If you're actually good at your job, you're gonna fucking go up the ladder. Maybe you're not going to be a boss, maybe you're not going to be this, but you are going to be paid better than everyone else because you're actually worth it. There are no exceptions to this. There are no ever excuses. It's the truth, and you can cry about it all that you want. Anyway, MindsEye video, everyone. Absolutely 10 out of 10 hilarious. Bye.